You're watching Maine Biz Sunday, Maine's business news source.
Can the emerging wind energy sector become an economically viable source of affordable energy for Maine and New England's future? Clearly, First Wind believes it can and will. Matt Kearns, Vice President of Business Development for First Wind, is here to describe First Wind's current operations in Maine, their plans for the future, and to discuss how wind energy fits into the overall mix of energy solutions for the long term for Maine. Thanks, Matt. Glad you could be here.
Thank you, Al.
Appreciate you coming in. First of all, let me give just a little bit of information about First Wind. First Wind is an independent North American wind energy company focused exclusively on the development and ownership and operation of wind farms. The founders originally developed and operated wind energy projects in Italy, operating in northeast and western regions of the United States and in Hawaii. You're already producing 478 megawatts of energy through 6 operating wind farms. You use a develop-to-own concept, which we'll talk a little bit about, and your corporate headquarters in Boston. Is that correct?
That's right.
One other thing I wanted to, we talk about that you're located in northeast, west, and Hawaii, but we have a map that we're going to put up. You can really see that, well, it's true that you are located from the map in the northeast and in Utah, I guess.
Yes.
Right? And then in Hawaii as well, operating facilities there as well. Clearly that Northeast is a real focus for First Wind.
Right.
Even within the Northeast, Maine is even more of a focus, is a focal point for the Northeast.
That's right. So you talked about our corporate headquarters in Boston. I think that they're in Portland, Maine, and we've got regional offices in Lincoln and Oakfield where we're doing project development.
Good.
So, yes, we are truly focused in the Northeast, and I really am focused on our work in Maine, and that's really why we've got the Portland office, but we've also got these regional offices.
How many employees do you have at First Wind?
So we have 26 living and working in Maine, but nationwide we've got 185.
Okay.
So it's
great.
Yeah, we've come a long way from the early days.
Yeah, good. Okay, first question is, why Maine? Why is this a good place for wind energy products, and why have you invested so heavily?
Well, New England needs clean energy, no question. And Maine has something that New England needs. It's got open space, it's got wind, and it's got access to markets. So the fundamental, and I guess the other key piece is it's got regulatory support. And by that I mean we've got the opportunity in New England to help meet the renewable portfolio standards for Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, and Massachusetts. So they're all part of the independent system operator for New England, and each has its own renewable portfolio standard. Maine really can help serve those requirements. If those states don't meet those requirements, there are penalties. So it's a good thing that Maine's got to offer the rest of the region.
Wind and open space. Well, we're not the only ones that have wind and open space in New England, but you chose our wind and open space over others?
Yeah.
Was there competition for you?
There absolutely is competition. There continues to be. We have permitted a site in Vermont. We've got other sites in development in New England. However, Maine really demonstrated the kind of leadership early on, the formation of the Wind Task Force. What businesses like ours are looking for, I think, is clear permitting processes that are understandable, that have some degree of certainty, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Not that we know the outcome, but that we know the process and we can understand.
That's good to hear.
Really important.
That's good to hear from our point of view, too, because we're clearly trying to bring, in terms of a business model for Maine. If we're doing something right for the wind industry, we want to look at that model for other industries as well. So the permitting is smooth and easy and reliable. It's something you can predict.
Right. Well, I think what we see is that the Maine permitting is actually very challenging. And it should be. Because that's how you keep Maine the way Maine is, and it's one of the reasons I live here, and we love it. Our family loves it, and I think a lot of other people live here for the same reason. So keeping Maine kind of the way it is important to people. But I think we can also build wind farms in the right places and make sure that we are a leader in the energy industry.
I did want to ask, too, part of that discussion, or part of the decision surely has to be about the grid and transmission.
Certainly.
Do we have what we need? Talk to me about that. And if we don't, how do we fix it?
Well, it's complicated, certainly. And what we have traditionally done on our projects is we build the project and we solve our own transmission problems along the way. So that's kind of a big part of how we approach business, is we're not expecting the utilities to kind of fix our problems. And just to be specific, the Stetson project that we finished last year, we built a 38-mile transmission line to get to market. So we're not waiting for a utility kind of a broader utility plan. That doesn't mean that we're not interested in working cooperatively with other plans that are underway. It's just that we need to move at our pace, and we're willing to pay the cost to get to the finish line.
So let's talk about communities and how you decide where to locate.
Yeah.
And what are the community decisions there too? We talked about, you live in Maine and you love Maine, and how do we protect all of that?
I think working in terms of finding the right sites, wind is obviously the first key criteria. Transmission, as you say, is also critical. But figuring out the conversation with the community and sort of starting early and helping the community understand what wind power is and what it isn't. I think breaking through some of the mythology. So it can be challenging because not all municipalities have the regulatory framework to deal with this technology. So we're still working our way through that, but we think with a good sort of conversation that starts early with the community and continues, both parties can find something that's good for them.
In terms of that community piece, also and we're going to come back and talk more about environmental issues, those kinds of things, but also the quality of place. I know that there have been some movement to require more quality of place studies, the Maine Historic Preservation Commission. How does that impact your decisions or your cost?
Well, quality of place is obviously kind of a core value in Maine, and it's one of the reasons that a lot of the guys in the business have chosen, in our business, have chosen to raise their families and move to Maine. We have a very popular office in Portland. A lot of people would like to be working in Maine. It can be challenging to make a living in Maine, as you know. So we're really proud to be a part of the solution there. And again, when you look at the number of businesses that we're supporting, just with Stetson alone, 130 Maine businesses were involved in the making of that project. We're kind of, adding quite a shot in the arm to the Maine economy right now, and makes it a better place to live.
Good, and we're going to come back and talk about that too. I want to get some data on how much stimulus you have made in terms of Maine's economy. But I did want to end this segment with a discussion of Stetson 2. That's going to go online tomorrow, the day after this airs, I believe.
Well, not online, but it's we are cutting the ribbon to signify start of full construction there.
Tell us a little bit about Stetson 2 real quick.
Yeah, it's an add-on to the existing Stetson project. It's another 25.5 megawatts.
How many turbines?
17 more turbines. Same technology, the GE 1.5 megawatt machine, and it's a lot of the same businesses that helped us build Maine businesses that helped us build Stetson 1 are helping us build Stetson 2, and a lot of the local businesses that are housing construction workers, just local camps and guide services. They're open this winter when they might have been closed, and we're really glad to be a part of the neighborhood.
Great. I want you to stick around. We're going to talk some more in our afterthought segment that we'll show on the web. So stick around. Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
If you want to catch more on this discussion, you can go to our exclusive Afterthought segment, seen only on the web. Go to mainbiz.biz and click on the Maine Biz Sunday link. To learn more about First Wind and their projects in Maine, go to firstwind.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our Wind Industry Roundtable.
Maine Biz Sunday is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank, where you can enjoy free ATMs worldwide.